What's up, guys? It's Joe here from Gas Sniffer's Garage, back at you with another video about the fast tractor, the T-bucket mower. In the last video, what I had done was I had the chassis built and everything mocked up, but I had flipped the front axle. It had the stock spindles, and what happens when you flip the axle is the kingpin angle, these are angled a little bit to give it stability, is reversed, which would make it very unstable. Not only that, the original spindles, when they're flipped upside down, all the weight is on two C-clips, you know, one on either side, and I wasn't comfortable with that at all. So I flipped the axle back over and I welded up a couple of spindles here. They, instead of having the spindle come off on the bottom, comes off near the top, which puts it at about the same height as it was before. But these will be considerably stronger, and I also gave it a little bit of camber, as you can see. Essentially all I did was I made the kingpins, well, I made the spindles square with the kingpins, and the kingpins are angled. I drilled the holes to hold in my springs here, so that's all done. You can see if I stand on it here. Well, it's a little hard for you to see, but it flexes nicely. Yeah, it's hard for you to see, but flexes nicely, everything works. And I have some tie rod ends. I have to get the nuts and the rod to go in between. They're a little heavier duty than on most, you know, go-karts and what have you. Then moving on, I welded on the engine mounts. I know some people might say, oh, you should have welded across here, but it's okay. I didn't want to weld there because my welds look shitty, and because the engine is going to sit there and I don't know exactly where it's going to sit. That's why it's not drilled out. So I didn't want the welds in the way. But it is welded 5 places because it goes here, 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 here. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, welded in 5 places on each of these joints underneath. So it should be plenty strong. I have a Model T style steering here, and what I'm gonna have is, if you look in my pile of junk over here, I've got this baby right here. Is the steering box out of an old, or not the steering box, pardon me. This is the bottom end out of an old outboard, and that's going to go in like that with an arm off of here. It's about a 1.5 to 1 ratio, which is what most go-karts have that I've found. It's even what my moto mower tractor has over there. So I think it should work out pretty well, and I drilled a bunch of adjustment holes in case I don't like the gear ratio. Other things, these are not the wheels I'm keeping on it. You can see there's very little clearance. That's intentional. I'm getting some skinnier wheels like what's on that tractor, and I'm going to space them out. So this exterior is where the wheel is going to sit, but it's only going to be that wide. And for the rear, since it's very close to the tub on either side, it's actually rubbing a little when I put the tub on. For the rear, I'm getting some 2-inch wheel spacers that will push those out and make it look a little stanced and I may get some wider wheels eventually. We'll see. I don't want to stress the axle too much. I am a little worried about that with the spacers. But that's, oh yeah, and I cut these ears off because when I was making the frame, I made a mistake, and these were extra long. They went out till they were almost rubbing the tire, so I cut those back, and I drilled the other 2 holes for the transmission mount. So now that can be fully mounted. I have to get to the hardware store and get some hardware for that, but it's coming together. Next thing I'm gonna do, mount the engine, and then I can start working on the steering and fitting the tub and the drivetrain, which is going to be a belt clutch. I haven't figured out exactly what gearing I'm going with yet, so I haven't bought the pulleys, but that'll all probably be in the next video. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Give you one last look at this thing. It's coming along. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.